Like I said, we're back. All right, starting Friday, you'll need to dust off that mask and wear it inside grocery stores or banks or maybe work in Multnomah County buildings, anything like that. Are you surprised by this? I'm not. All right, we're seeing a huge spike in cases and hospitalizations and more breakthrough cases than we have ever seen. Every time we talk about the vaccine, people accuse us of pushing some type of narrative or trying to tell people what to do. We are not at all. We're explaining the data and the science and the continued fact that unvaccinated people are the ones catching, spreading, and being hospitalized for and dying from COVID at a far greater rate than vaccinated people. Like I said, our grip on COVID is loosening a bit right now. I'm sure you feel it. If you have questions about this kind of stuff, please let me know. Use that hashtag HeyDan on Twitter. You can email us at thestory@kgw.com. I had a few questions of my own on today's news for our reporter, Pat Dooris. So, Pat, thanks for joining us. Let's talk right off the bat about masks in Multnomah County. What are the specifics there?
Well, starting Friday, the county chair is going to put out an executive order that you must wear a mask inside any public building. So you go to the barber, you go to the gym, you go to the movies, you go to a restaurant, you're going to be wearing a mask, or you could face a fine up to $1,000.
$1,000. Now, we've heard about fines before. Are they serious about these? Will they actually be handing out tickets to people?
Well, Deborah Kafori, the chair, said she is very serious about it. In fact, they're creating a website where you can report people, and there's going to be a phone number where you can report people as well. I asked her today, do you really expect people are going to be, ratting out their neighbors or people that are annoyed? And she kind of dodged the question, but they have this vehicle in place, so I think it will be used.
Yeah, some people will, some people won't, some people will. We'll see what happens with that. Now, we're talking to Deborah Kafori here. We're talking to Multnomah County here. Up until this point, when we've been talking about masks, it's all come from the governor's office, but that is changing. Are we going to start seeing each individual county making up their own rules here?
Well, I think so. The governor has said, I'm done, hands off. And that it's up to the local county people to make these decisions. In fact, she reiterated that today. She called on all local leaders to pass a mask mandate, but said it's up to them, that it's a local issue. And it's a very sticky political issue too, so I'm sure she wants to stay out of it as long as she can, but it's not practical. There are places in this state that should have mask mandates if you just look at the numbers, but the political leaders there are not going to do it.
Make some sense for me of these numbers that we're seeing, the spike in cases. We're seeing so many more people getting sick with COVID. We're seeing a lot of breakthrough cases. But as always, I get really focused on the hospitals. So how many people are more than just pretty sick? The people who are at real risk of serious complications or even death, the people who go into our ICUs. What do we know about that?
Well, there's a lot of them. That's what we know right now. Is just checking the numbers before we talked. 592 in Oregon hospitals with COVID. The all-time high was in November, and there were 662. So we're getting kind of close to that number. And then with the ICUs, right now there's 151 people in intensive care. Those are the sickest of the sick people. And that is a number that has never been reached before with COVID cases in Oregon. So it's almost like every day or every week it's a new high. I mean, when you look at the charts, the numbers are going almost straight up. And I think it's scary. And, unvaccinated people, you need to get a shot. You need to get protected. And even those of us who are vaccinated need to be very careful. This Delta variant is nasty, and it will break through and make you very sick. I know 2 people personally right now that are extremely sick, and they were fully vaccinated and still got COVID.
Absolutely. That's one thing I think we should make clear, that even when people are not sick enough to go to the hospital, they can still be the sickest they've ever been in their life, even if it doesn't land them actually in a hospital bed somewhere. And I know that people are suffering that way.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, Pat Dooris, thank you so much.
Yep.
Appreciate the insight, as always.
My pleasure.